Hi guys, Rob here with Deluks Gaming, and welcome back to my Gratuitous Space Battles II series, episode 2. So I'm here today again, and we are actually, I went back to the first battle, and I decided, well, I'm going to try the battle just with one less cruiser, and I wasn't recording at the time, and maybe I should have, but it was just for, you know, to see what would happen. And we actually won with one less cruiser. So one of the things, and it was the same thing with Gratuitous Space Battles 1, the less you use to defeat the enemy, the more points you got for research. So I did win the battle, and I decided just to stick with it, and you know, just it gives us a little bit more research points to play with. And you know what, we could even try and streamline this down a little bit more, but I'm not going to worry about the first battle anymore. Let's go get some research done and move on to the next battle, and we're going to customize our first ship, so I'm pretty excited about that. So the first thing I usually do is, of course, especially with Gratuitous Space Battles 1, you want to see kind of what you're going to be facing. So, according to this, we've got some fighters. It looks like heavy fighters, and it looks like quite a few of them. And I'm presuming, so these two are cruisers, and just some light fighters, probably fighter-to-fighter, anti-fighters, right? And now, so we have to think about how we're going to deal with this. So, my opinion, if I was, you know, if I'm going to use my brain, which I'm going to, I would think we want to have some nice, well-equipped frigates that would be really good at taking out fighters. Because this looks like that's sort of the bulk of what's going on here. Like, I don't see any frigates, I don't see anything else, just two cruisers and fighters. So basically two carriers. So how do you take out two carriers? Well, you have a couple ships that destroy fighters easily, and then ships that destroy cruisers easily. So what we can do, I'm thinking we do a cruiser, and I'm gonna customize these ships, but this is a good way. You can always start out with, well, kind of what I think I'm gonna do, and kind of lay it out a little bit, and then we go back and go into design mode. Now, I won't know what's on these ships until we actually do the fight, but I always try to, you know, I try to win the fight before I even know exactly what I'm going to be facing, based on what I see here, and we get a lot of information just here. So I'm thinking destroyers actually would be really good for taking out those fighters. So destroyers are not quite as big as the frigates. Sorry, somebody corrected me in the last episode. They're like, it's frigate, not frigate. I can pronounce it any way I want, but you're right. You're absolutely right. It's frigate. So I will try to correct my pronunciation of the word frigate, because that is absolutely correct. But I also say things like nachos. I don't say nachos, I say nachos, and I always get corrected for that too. So, you know, it's one of those funny things, right? I don't think we need a dreadnought here. I think a cruiser, a couple destroyers, and then some frigates, sorry, see, I did it again. I knew I was going to do that. Some frigates, and then maybe some gunships. No, I don't think gunships would be really good. So gunships, I think, is a new class in the game, and we're going to talk about the different size classes of hulls in a minute. But see, this would be good. I think these would be cheaper than taking another cruiser. I could even add another frigate, do 4 frigates, the 2 destroyers. The destroyers would be there, of course, to destroy any fighters. And then we could add some fighters of our own. I think, you know, maybe a squad or 2. And I think I don't think we'd do I think we would do light fighters, just to destroy fighters, because these two ships are probably carriers, and they probably have some good anti-fighter weaponry on them. So we could do some fighters, and just keep all of our ships down here. I could distract them with maybe do something like this. So we have a destroyer, we have a frigate up here to maybe distract some of these fighters and pull them up, and then the main force will come down like this. Now that would probably mean we'd lose these two ships though, so I want to keep them fairly close, but not too close, right? To kind of divide their force. Kind of do that. That might be dumb, I don't know, but it's worth a shot. It will just, I mean, all these fighters will probably come up here, which is great, and we'll have more than enough ships and fighters down here to destroy whatever's left. And actually we could add another. No, okay, so we can't add more fighters up here because fighters now require a bay to dock in. So I think they have to be fairly close to the cruiser. So that's sort of what I have in mind for this battle. So it says that we can use 11,500 points or dollars or whatever that is for this fight. And with what we have laid out here, we would be using 11,412, and then whatever's left over would go into our honor. Now, so we're actually kind of heavier than the last fight. So now, These are all sample ships, so we're actually gonna go take a look at designing some of our own ships.
Starship design mode activated.
I'm not big on the dreadnoughts at the beginning. I like to kind of get the feel of the smaller ships before I move into dreadnoughts, so I'm not even gonna bother with the dreadnoughts. We're gonna go for, well, let's take a look at what their basic fighters look like. So sample fighters open. All right. So their basic fighters have beam lasers. So now here they have all sorts of information here. There's actually more information here than there was in the original, which I love. So the cost, of course, and the cost is part of that dollar value that we talked about at the beginning there. Weight affects how quickly your ship moves. Hit points, of course, how many hit points this hard point has. So how many hit points it can take before it's destroyed. The power it consumes, which is really important. That's right here. So right now, the ship produces 9 and consumes 7. Let me see. Yes, that's correct. So when I put this on, it of course this piece uses 5 points of power. When I take it off, of course that 5 points of power disappears. So we actually have 2 surplus power here. We could actually, if there was a reason to, or we needed to, or we wanted to, we could actually add something that used 2 more power points, or put a weapon that was slightly bigger. Now, this weapon here, so important things to note here, damage. Damage is, of course, very, very important. Now, if you want to have a weapon that is good at destroying shields, in other words, a fighter weapon, if it's a fighter designed to destroy other fighters, it doesn't really matter. Shield penetration isn't all that important. But if this fighter is to be used against larger ships with shields have a shield resistance score, as well as how much shield points it has. And your shield penetration on a weapon determines how well it's going to penetrate that shield. Now sometimes, actually a lot of times, if you have a weapon that doesn't have high shield penetration, you won't do any damage at all to that shield. So a lot of times fighter like this won't do any damage at all to a larger ship that has a shield on it that has shield resistance. So it also has armor penetration. This weapon has a higher armor penetration than shield penetration. Important if, this is a great little ship for fighting fighters. Or this weapon is a good little ship for fighting fighters, because fighters don't generally have shields. Now, some other important things. Tracking speed. Really, really, really important. The higher the tracking speed, the better it'll be for fighting smaller targets that move faster. And of course, a fire interval. How many thousandths of a second pass between firing this weapon? So every second. So if it says 1,000, it means every second this weapon will fire. Minimum range is 15 in meters. So within 15 meters it can fire. Okay, so and the warhead type, certain types of damage for certain shields and stuff. I think this is a new feature, so it just tells you what type of damage it is, and the max range of the, at what range the module can be activated. So this is important more for projectiles and stuff, I think. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how that works. Okay, and then of course, how much of that damage is applied to armor. So 100% of that damage can be applied to armor, 30% of that damage can be applied to shield, and 70% of that damage can be applied to hull. We're going to learn more as we go here, but I love that there's lots of information. So I'm just going to modify this fighter here. Let's see what we have for weapons. So the beam laser is what's on there right now. The pulse laser, how much power does that use? It uses actually less power, but it does less damage, and it does more shield penetration. So that might be good for a vehicle or a ship that you're going to be using to maybe fight some guys with some shields on them, like gunships and or larger ships. So it's maybe a little bit more balanced. But this ship right now really dedicated to fighting fighters, and I kind of like that. Okay, so light pulse laser, so it does even less damage, and all of that damage is armor penetration. But look at the tracking speed. So this is actually a really good weapon for fighters. Against fighters, sorry, and look at the tracking speed. Oh, the tracking speed on the pulse laser is pretty good too, but this light pulse laser, excellent tracking speed. It would be really nice if we could have one of those and like one of the beam together, but we can only have one weapon on a ship, so the hexagon indicates where the weapons go, right? I'm trying to go through this as quickly as possible and trying to determine myself what I would want on the ship. So the missile launcher, you could put a missile launcher on one of these, no problem. Yeah, it's probably quite heavy, is what I'm thinking. The weight, 5. Versus weight 3. Yeah, quite heavy. And for a ship this size, that does make a difference. It does affect their maximum speed and turning power and all that kind of stuff. Apparently, let's see if it... It's noticeable. Yeah, so maximum speed is 1.13 with the laser, and with the missile, it makes them way slower. Now, this missile launcher can be used to deliver different payloads, enemy vessels. I wouldn't suspect that it would be really good against fighters, so I think, again, we're going to... Oh, torpedoes. So, yeah, if we wanted to make, like, a bomber, yeah, so that would be something you'd put on a gunship would be really good for torpedoes, or a fighter with, you know, maybe some shield capability or something so they can get in and launch those torpedoes and destroy those big ships. Okay, I know I'm babbling a lot here. And an anti-shield bomb. Oh, it just does tons and tons of shield penetration damage. Yeah, just destroys shields. Really cool. So that in combination with something that does lots of armor damage might be really good. Or you just have these come in a wave and they destroy the shields of a ship, and then you have another wave of a different type of fighter that comes in and destroys the armor. So anyway, sort of a just a little bit of a what I would be looking at when I'm trying to make a vehicle like this. So I think we're actually going to go with the light pulse laser for this, just because it's got super actually... Now it does half the damage actually of the pulse laser, but it's got almost identical tracking speed. You know what? I'm going to go with the... No, I think the light is too small. I think the light's too small, and it's such a small difference in terms of tracking speed. I think the pulse laser will be better against fighters. Now it does lots of shield. It's a little bit more shield oriented, but well, not really. But it does twice the damage, and it's got great tracking speed. It's actually less power to use, so maybe we can add something else here interesting. So defenses, armor. So this vehicle right now has no armor. It has engines. It has a power plant, and it has a small power plant. So it's got two power plants, a medium and a small, and it has a fuel tank. So the fuel tank burns up fuel. So as soon as the fuel runs out on a fighter, it has to go back and dock in a ship, and there's only so much fuel available in a match. And there is ways to, there's other things you can get to actually replenish fuel that you've had. There's research. Research solves some of these problems. So we could add armor to the ship, to this vehicle, but we want to keep it fairly fast because it is an intercept fighter, and thrust max engines. So what do we got in here? We've got just regular engines. So let's take a look at the difference. So cost 16, cost 19, weight 2.5. Yeah, this is a little bit heavier. Hit points has a little bit more hit points. Power uses up a little bit more power, but I'm not worried about power right now. And almost twice the thrust, but not quite as maneuverable. Makes it a really fast ship, a really fast vehicle. I wonder, so could we actually throw this on here? Oh yeah, so didn't affect our turning speed all that much. Let's just see here. Turning speed went down, well, it went down substantially, actually, more than 10%. But increased our maximum speed by a lot. It almost doubles it, so that's really awesome. It does use a little bit more power, but big deal, right? Add some weight, but that doesn't really matter. Well, that affects our turning speed and stuff, but I really like having the larger engine on there. And, ooh, thruster nozzles. What's this? Nuclear-powered reaction drives. Which propel the nuclear-powered reaction drives, which propel the ship through space. So it just adds more speed or something? I'm not sure what that does. Thrust... It's not an engine. Well, maybe... I don't know. Oh, it just adds a lot of maneuverability. Oh, so we could actually... well, we don't need all these power plants. We could actually remove this small power plant because... Oh, no, we would actually be short. So is there bigger power plants? Okay, so it's a large power plant. That's probably way too big. So we can have a small, a medium, and a large. Okay, and then fuel, right? So... This large power plant is weight 3.9. So what if we replace that medium with a large? That would give us more than enough power. And if we could add that this thrust nozzler. Oh, look at that. So in doing it this way, we've actually reduced the weight of the vehicle and increased our turn speed. Am I correct? Is that right? Oh, yeah. More than doubled the turn speed. Wow! And increased our maximum speed because we reduced the weight. And it's right on target with power. That is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I absolutely love it. Okay, so we're going to rename this. This is no longer Sample Fighter because we're personalizing this sucker. Of course, I'm going to do some visual modification here too, but let's name this the sticker. The sticker. Here comes the stickers. Okay, and we are going to add some visual representation of our changes. So this is a super fast ship with really big engines. So I'm going to fast forward this part. Enjoy the build. Don't expect great colors, but I'm going to do my best. Okay, honestly, I could do this all night. Honestly, I could just sit here and design and... Okay, so this is what I had in mind. So we've got one big engine on the ship as, you know, as a module. We've got this big, massive, large engine. So that's kind of what I had in mind there. And then, of course, we've got some maneuvering engines, which was these modules here, which I was trying to simulate, the thruster nozzles. Thruster nozzles. All right, so hold on. Large power plant. Oh, large power plant and a thrux mat. So yeah, big engine, big power plant, right? So right here, big engine, big power plant. And then, of course, these thruster nozzles. What are they? Sorry. Thruster nozzles. Oh, they're nozzles for the thrusters. Okay, well, we'll just say that they're like extra thrusters. So it makes him really maneuverable, and then it kind of looks like he's flying backwards, but he's actually flying forward, so it'd be disarming for fighters. They don't know whether he's coming or going. And then, of course, the big turreted gun in the center. Now, you can make things rotate, but I couldn't make it rotate on the right axis. So I'm hoping that the developer makes it so that, because if I set this to rotate, it's going to rotate from the center, and it doesn't look right when it does that. So if the developer actually makes it so that you can set where it starts rotation, so it looks like the turret's rotating, that would be really, really, really cool. And like I said, I could do this all night. I could just sit here and build ships, but I'm not... Whoop, 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 whoop. It's okay. It's a little off. Let's adjust it. Otherwise, it's going to bug me. Well, probably won't bug me because I probably won't come back to this screen for this ship again. Okay, so yes, there we go. I'm pretty happy. Okay, so we've actually built our very first ship. We are going to save... Oh, it didn't save my name. Okay, well, let's change the name. So okay, actually, we're going to change it to the Interceptor. I like that better. It speaks... I like to make the names... have the name speak of what it does. So this is an interceptor. It hits fighters. It is designed to destroy fighters. So I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to save it. Ship design, interceptor.
Starship
Perfect.
design blueprints saved.
All right, let's see. Oh, there we go. The interceptor, just like that. So they're just little sets of fighters. I absolutely love it, and I love the look, and it's unique, and it's mine. I love the whole customization thing. Now, I could spend all night doing that kind of stuff, so I'm not going to do any more of the serious customization. We'll do one major customization, in other words, visual customization of a ship a day. But we are going to make sure that we've got a good destroyer and a good dreadnought. So let's go to the...
Starship
let's
design
load
mode
up
activated.
the sample destroyer. Actually, the sample... Yeah, the destroyer. So the destroyer should be the smaller ship that's good at destroying fighters. Anti-fighter beam. Anti-fighter beam. Okay, so that's... Okay, let's look at that. So, max range 400, tracking speed 3, so it's better than the tracking the gun that we've got on the fighter, which is great. Fire interval 500, so twice as fast as the other gun. Oh, actually, that's great. This is perfect. So this ship is designed to kill fighters. I love it. So what do we got? We got tractor beam. Oh, tractor beam. Oh, highly focused gravity manipulation projectors which can hold enemy ships in place, especially smaller ones. Wow, this ship is designed to kill fighters. Okay, it's got a repair system, it's got a good engine. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna keep that as is. Now, we haven't done any research yet. We don't need to. So, not yet. Anyway, so I'm not gonna mess with that one. I only start researching when I start losing battles. And of course, maybe that's the wrong tactic to take, but I don't know. If we're not losing, why change things? Okay, so let's load up the destroyer. This one I want to have kind of a mix of... Oh, not the destroyer, the frigate. The frigate. Let's load the frigate, and we might want to make some modifications here. Right, so the frigate has shields, 2 sets of medium shields, and yes, they do add to each other's effect. So in other words, every time you add one of these, it's the law of diminishing returns. So, with one, I wonder if it shows the total amount of shields. So shield strength, 113.40. So each one of these shields will add shield strength of 70. So if I remove this, shield strength is 63. It should be 70. I don't understand. Hold on. Because, okay, so how it's supposed to work, let's find shields, is that I add one and it should be whatever the shield strength is. This must be a bug. Yeah, it must be a bug. It should be shield strength 70, and it should say shield strength 70, unless they're... Oh, that's it. So, this particular hull gives us a bonus of minus 10% in shield boost. Okay, so that's not very good. Maybe I don't want this hull. Maybe we need to do some research. Let's do some research. I don't want this hull. No! I don't want it. You can't make me have it. Okay, let's go back. No, we do not want to save it. Let's go research a different hull, because we can't have negatives on a hull. That's not good. Hold on. Main menu, let's go to research, and let's go to ship hulls. Now, we want a frigate class. Right, so it's in between the cruiser and the destroyer. They've also got gunships here, too, but let's go for this one. Let's see. Power boost 10%, shield boost 20%, and speed boost 10%. Wow, that looks really good. Yeah, that looks great. Awesome. Okay, what else we got? Gunship, cruiser, destroyer. Yeah, let's go for this guy. The other guy, yeah. Okay, so this is going to cost us 1,000 of our honor, and we have 8,906, so that's okay.
Ship hull unlocked.
Perfect. Now we have new hull, so we can go back, and I think we already had some other hulls we could use, but wait, I want to show you the research. Actually, before we leave research, let's just see if there's anything special here. Fast recharge. Now, there's no filters here. Really, there should be a filter to tell me which of these weapons and armor are available for what type of ships. In other words, I want to look at just frigate weapons, and it's showing me cruiser. See, ship class is cruiser, and it's showing me fighter gunship. Right, and if I'm just looking for a frigate, that's going to be really frustrating. See, I'm very proud of myself for sticking to frigate rather than using the word frigate. You guys got to be proud of me for that. Okay, so fast recharge shield, so frigate destroyer. I don't have much of a basis of comparison without having them side by side, but we're going to unlock a different shield just to compare it.
Unlocked.
And we're going to unlock, I'm assuming it has less resistance, but it recharges faster. That's what I'm thinking, which might be perfect for that ship, actually. Droid bay. Okay, well, look, I don't know what I'm going to need yet, so let's just go back, and we're going to design
mode
our frigate. And okay, so let's change this hull to the... we want the frigate. It's that one. Okay, so let's look at all of them. So we have access to this one, the Lincoln-class frigate, which hull bonuses apply to each module. Length 150 meters, standard module 9, hardpoints 4. Hardpoints are where you can put your weapons, 9. Module places to put your modules. Shield 20% boost, power 20%. That's pretty good. This is the one we've got on this one. It's terrible. It's a terrible. Armor boost minus 10%, shield boost minus 10. Wow. Yeah. Terrible. Terrible. So, and this is one we just picked up. Power output boost 10%, shield boost 20%, speed boost 10. I like it. I like having the extra speed. The faster you go, the harder it is for you to get hit. Okay, so that's good. And it's got lots of points. Okay, so we want kind of a balanced ship. Maybe some missiles would be really good. Oh, maybe some bigger missiles. But I'd love to put some missiles on like, it's got lots of hard points. I can put some nice defensive beams, like defense lasers. Ooh. Tracking speed 1.7, does 3 damage. Pretty low for damage. I want kind of a medium beam would be like... there we go. Beam damage 26. So that's a good size against larger ships, and then we can put some defensive weapons like not anti-fighter beams, but something. Ooh, sniper. No, we don't care if it keeps its distance. It can get in closer. Plasma. Oh yeah, the plasmas. They have really good range. Minimum range 345, right? So they have to be further away. If you get closer, you can't use those weapons. So they're really good for dreadnoughts and stuff that don't move very fast. Of course, you could design a ship around that too, but flak cannons. Oh, flak cannon might be good. Yeah, put a flak cannon back here kind of thing. Maybe. I'd rather have a missile launcher back here. So the missile launcher, minimum range 375 as well. So you can't use it at close range, eh? Yeah, that's a bummer. So minimum range... Yeah, minimum range for that anti-fighter beam is actually quite low. 40. So the sniper beam, minimum range is 600. Wow. Radiation gun. That sounds like fun. Fires a concentrated pulse of laser energy to cause damage to enemy vessels. Power consumed, 20. Damage, 30. Very good damage. Wow. Yeah, that looks really good. Shield damage, 50-50 for shield and heart. Mostly no shield penetration. So we could get stuck trying to attack larger. We'll throw one of those on. This weapon might not be so good against larger ships, but whereas this has shield penetration of 6, which is pretty good, and armor penetration, this one does lots of damage, but it doesn't have much. It doesn't have any shield penetration at all, so it might get stuck not doing any damage in a situation where we get faced with a larger ship. But now let's just do like some, nice medium weapons. That's kind of what I want in here. No, bigger than beams. The heavy beams, they're pretty big. So I usually start with what weapons I want and then try to make everything match it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. We don't have a lot of choices here. That's part of the problem. I don't know. Do we keep the token missile on and then do 2 radiation beams on the side? They'd be pretty good. What's their tracking? Ooh, really low tracking. I don't know. I'm almost tempted to put 4 beams on it. Damage 7, damage 3. Yeah, all the other damage is just really crappy. Yeah, weapons that, these are fighter weapons, right? We don't want to put those on there. But this is more, I do like the radiation gun. Okay, we're going to try it. And the 2 beams and 1 missile. So the missile we have to be at range, so we get a few pot shots off with the missile, and then everything else is sort of closer range. Now, I chose beams because they're kind of a balanced weapon. They're not as slow as some of these other ones, but they still do 26 damage, and they've got good penetration all round. Oh, they still have to be pretty far away. 290 meters. But that's okay. That's okay, because this ship will be able to move fast enough to be able to pull it off, I think. Okay, and definitely want shields. So, didn't we get fast shields? Oh. I thought we got fast shields. Huh. Maybe we picked it for the wrong... Oh, this is a destroyer. No. Oh. Landing crafts frigate. That might be a bug too, because I'm pretty sure we picked fast shields. Like we researched oh, maybe we didn't unlock it. Maybe that's it. Wish we could get, well, we can save it. Hold on, let's just save it as is. I don't know if we can. No, it's not giving me the option to save it. Wonder why. Oh, it's because it's just not. Okay. You know what? Let's just build it with what we have here. That's fine. Do we want to do armor or shields? I always like having at least 1 shield on a ship. Maybe do 1 heavy shield. What's the difference here? So cost 73, weight 40, hit points 26, power consumed. Shield strength 30, shield resistance 17. So the higher the shield resistance, the harder it is to penetrate for smaller ships. And that might be really good because there's a lot of smaller ships having that extra shield resistance. So let's do that. And we're going to throw on some decent engines. High performance, thrust 100, thrust 60, thrust 40. This is thrust injection engines. Oh, they look like a nice balance. Weight 32, weight, okay. Hit points, who cares. Power, they don't use quite as much power. Right, what was I going to say? Oh, right, the law of diminishing returns. If I use more, I can use more than 1 heavy shield. So the shield strength is 30 plus the bonus. Now, if I add another shield, it's not going to give me 36 plus 36, which is 72 shield. It's actually going to give me less because when you stack them, you only get 90% output. And then it keeps diminishing further and further and further the more you add. So it actually only gives us 64 return because it turns both of these into 90%. Does that make sense? So you do get more shield strength out of it, but you certainly don't get double. Hope that makes sense. So sorry, I just wanted to clear that up because I know I started that conversation earlier. Let's add of course, we're going to need crew maybe. So crew, it's saying we've got enough crew, but we're probably going to need some after we get some other stuff here. So we need a power plant, definitely, because we have, so our power needs, we're going to need, so it's saying we are using 80, but we only have 25 available to us without any power. So we need 50, is that right? 55. So we need something that gives us 55 power. So power produce 52, power produce 68, requires 20 crew. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, crew, let's see here. So, I don't know. Is there anything else we want to add here? Target booster, repair system would be nice. Yeah, we'll add a repair system down there. Actually, we'll add the power plant down there. Repair system here. A target booster, that will increase our target boost strength. This percentage increase to hit chance. So it makes it so that it hits more, and of course that's always good, right? We're going to have smaller targets and bigger targets, so we want that for sure. So the only thing we're low on is crew. We've got just enough power, but now these will require power too if I add crew decks. So this one will add 50 crew, this one will add 25 crew. What do we need? We need about, well, we'll say 50 is kind of the minimum here. If we add that, yeah. And then we're going to need more power. See what happens here? You just... it gets bigger and bigger. The tractor beam? It's tempting, but we're not going to do that. Anything else here? We could do the thruster pods. Since we're going to have to add more power anyway, we might as well add some more bells and whistles, right? We could actually add more engines. Have we added any engines at all? No, we have not. Okay, high performance. We definitely want this to be a fast ship. Yikes. Okay, so lots of power. We're going to need more crew if we do that. But that's okay. So, repair... Okay, let's move these up front, and we're probably going to need 2 power plants and multiple crew decks. So see what's happening here? When it's red, that means I need more, right? That makes sense? Okay, and one more. Ooh, that's way too much. One more of the 50 will give us more than enough. Actually, we might be able to bring that down. Right, perfect. So one of the small and one medium gives us more than enough crew. Now, but we're going to have to add another power plant here, so who knows? Haha, maybe that won't be enough. So power 52, no, well, yeah, if we did one more of those, we're good, and then we'd have to increase our crew size because it requires more crew to use that power plant. There we go. There we go. Well, that's it. We've got repair systems, we've got targeting systems, we've got 3 different types of weapons. It's good to have a diverse array of weapons. We've got just bulk damage, which is these radiation guns. And we've got the beam weapons, and of course it shows the arcs too, so these radiation guns can only shoot on the right side, forward and back and everything on the left side, forward and back and everything on the right side. These beam weapons, which are probably going to be the mainstay of the ship, they can shoot in a full range around the ship, and then of course the missile launcher, which can shoot any direction, but has to be at much greater range than these beam weapons, and the beam weapons much greater range than the radiation guns. But this is a medium range vehicle. I actually really like it, and we're pretty efficient in terms of power produced, power consumed. So we're producing 157 and using 152. We have room for 185 crew, and we're using 168, so that's not bad. You don't want to overdo it, so that's great. Let's save this sucker as... Oh, actually, before we do that, yes, we're gonna have to do this because otherwise it's just empty. It has nothing. So I'm gonna fast forward this piece. I'll be right back with you guys. Alright guys, I think that looks okay. I mean, I know my color schemes are always off. I've never claimed to be good at doing the colors, but I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. It may look kind of wonky right now, but I think altogether it looks pretty darn good. You got these retractable wings in the back, and I've got a representation of all the guns. Of course, these guns are supposed to be in here, but I don't know, I kind of made them at the end of the thrusters, which I think looks pretty cool. Oh, one thing I forgot to add is the thruster effects, so we'll do that right now. Just simple basic thruster effects like that, and we'll bring that down below, and then we will match that on the other side. I actually like the engine. There's a couple, like the draw program here, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. It's actually pretty easy to use. I don't know, I think it's pretty easy to use, but you could lose days doing this. It reminds me of reassembly in that I could just lose so much time. And then the two big power plants in the center there, because we had the two big power plants, and then of course the shield generator right in the center, and of course I made it so that these two beam lasers required a crew. I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, I think it's cool. Let's name this sucker. We are going to call this so we're going to call it the MR for mid-range. Okay, yeah, sorry, I had to think about it there for a second. So we're going to call this one the mid-range blazer frigate. So this, just because it's going to be, this is very fast. I mean, for a frigate, it's pretty fast. Frigate, sorry. I was doing so good there for a while. And then I got building, and then I lost track of, English. Okay, so maximum speed is 51, which is really good. Turn speed is 20. For this size of ship, it shouldn't be that bad. I don't know, we could probably do way better, but I don't know, it's not too bad. We've got the extra thruster pods on here, which increases its maneuverability. I think we'll be surprised at how well this moves. Keep in mind, the last ship that we were working on that had maximum speed of, what was it, 2 point something, was a fighter. So the fighters, of course, are going to move quite quickly and have really good turning speed. This is the 4 classes higher than a fighter. So this is actually, little tiny capital ship. Okay, so mid-range blazer frigate. Okay, so mid-range blazer, that's fine. Eventually I'm going to be getting names from you guys. Right now I'm just trying to get something built so that we can actually go do our second fight. So yes, saving the blazer.
Starship design blueprints saved.
It's not saving my capital letters. Oh, Mr. Blazer. It looks like Mr. Blazer. I love it. It was supposed to be mid-range blazer, but Mr. Blazer sounds pretty good. When they're this good, they call you Mr. All right, let's get back to, whoops, that's fine. So we're going to do this again, and now we're actually going to go and have the fight. We're not going to adjust the cruiser at all. Oh yeah, we don't want a dreadnought. Dreadnought's way too big. That's too good for us. We're going to use the sample cruiser that the game comes with. I don't even know what's on it, but I do know it has some long-range stuff, and it'll house my fighters. That's all I care about right now. We're going to get rid of all this garbage frigates and garbage destroyers, and we're going to go with our new, I guess we'll use their sample destroyer because we liked it. It is perfect for destroying fighters. That's right. It is an anti-fighter ship, and I think 2 of those would probably be good to take out most of these fighters. I hope. We'll try 2. If we have to do more later, that's fine. Okay, and we're going to do lots of our interceptors, so lots of fighters to take on fighters. Yeah, I think we'll do 4 groups of those guys. I really like the interceptor. They should take out most of those. Actually, we don't need 4 groups because we've got the destroyers. The destroyers are going to be excellent. So we'll just use the destroyers as an escort. I think that's what we'll do. They can escort. I will adjust their orders here in a second. And the fighters, I think they can go out and they can intercept those bombers because these look like they're bombers or something. And then, of course, we have our blazers. The blazers... Oh no, that's huge. It's not a cruiser, right? No, yeah, no, it's a frigate. It's big. It's huge. It's way bigger than I thought it was going to be. Mr. Blazer, when they're this big, they call you Mr. So we're going to put one up here to distract them. And maybe we will send a destroyer along with him. Maybe we'll add another destroyer to our main fleet. And of course, at least one more blazer. Now, the cruiser is going to take the longest to get anywhere, so I'm moving him just a little bit forward a little bit, and keep those nice tight formation here. So these guys, add new order, formation. There we go. So the cruiser and the 2 destroyers will now fly in formation. They will stick together. The fighters, of course, we need to assign them a carrier. The carrier will be there. And I don't know if it matters where I place them, actually. I'm not sure. I guess they're going to, yeah, they're going to come out and they're going to try and intercept around here. And we definitely want to adjust their orders. So their sole purpose in life is to attack fighters. 90% attack fighters. You'll go right close. You're going to go right. So this is saying anything within 800 meters, you're going to go attack. So that is a fighter. 91%. Gunships. Yeah, gunships. I don't know. Those aren't gunships in there? I think those are fighters. So yeah, gunships. I don't think it matters. Okay, and frigates. Sorry. We're going to bring that right down priority. 20%, and destroyers. I don't think there's. I think all they have is the cruisers. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, we don't really need to do any of that. The cruisers, yes, we're gonna adjust the cruisers. Definitely 20% is fine. That's fine. They will go after the fighters first. That's more than okay. And dreadnoughts, I don't care. Okay, so perfect. And change quantity. Change the number of ships in this squadron. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Oh, nifty. So change quantity. You can have 16 ships in a squadron. So they're all 16 ships. Okay, and you can make it smaller groups. Oh, neat. That's pretty cool. But I don't think that'll be necessary here. So we've got the fighters. Okay, so let's check our orders here. So these guys, the Blazers, they're going to go after the cruisers for sure. And so yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with what it says there. I think we'll keep these 2 together though. If we have to change things later, we'll change it. Now there's all sorts of stuff we can add here. Formation, assign order. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the other stuff. So you can set it so rescuer, concentrate fire on enemy ships who are attacking our fellow ships to save them from defeat, etc. Cautious, retreat from the front line if you're taking too much damage. Yeah, I don't care about that. Keep moving is actually a great one for them. So just in case you guys missed that, hold on, keep moving. Hold on. Let's read it. So continually move to a new location within range of your target so it's not to be a sitting duck. This is incompatible with escort or formation orders. Oh, really? Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'd rather they keep moving anyway. I think that's the way to do it. So I think we're going to do these guys as keep moving too as well. They're fast ships. They might as well make use of that speed, right? And as long as they're moving, it's harder to hit them. So that's the key. And I'm assuming these carriers will have some weapons. I think we're good to go. I am going to save this deployment. We're going to call this Deluks first fleet. Excellent. Are you ready? I was born ready. Yeah, we're not going to get a lot of points for this, but it should be a good fight. Just because we've used most of our points, but that's okay. We'll only get 2,202 honor. Is that right? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go. Yay! Awesome. I'm so excited.
Enemy fleet detected ahead.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, here comes our ships coming in. Awesome, there they are. Ooh, oh, there's our new ships. Look at them. Pretty. Oh, look at that. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, there goes our fighters launching from the cruiser. Okay, and our missiles are launching from our Mr. Blazers. Okay, and then we should have, I forget how we move to an area quickly. Right, both buttons. Okay, so yes, we've definitely split their fleet, so we should be able to take care of this guy pretty quickly, but we're probably going to take a whole bunch of damage here, maybe. Yeah, actually, not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. Okay, so now here comes air fighters, and it looks like there is a lot of bombers. These look like they're going to be bombers, and they're going to come in. They're going to do a lot of damage to the bigger ships, but our fighters should chew them up. Oh, what weapon was that? Oh, crazy. Okay, so we are taking some pretty serious damage over here, but that's okay. That's okay.
Shield stability failure.
Shield stability failure. Looks like our shields just suffered major. Okay, so we can also tell what...
An enemy cruiser has been destroyed.
Oh. Wow! We chewed that sucker to pieces. These destroyers are just eating those fighters for lunch. Oh, brilliant. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so let's go see. Now these guys, oh yeah, look at all that damage. Oh, here comes the missiles from the cruiser. Yeah, we
An
definitely
enemy cruiser
overestimated.
has been obliterated.
Yeah, we can definitely do that fight again, and we're gonna do that right now. We only made 2,000 honor because we used so much of the points.
Galactic
So what
battle
you can
mode
do is you can go back
activated.
into the same fight, deploy the fleet, and yeah, we don't need so many. We don't need so many ships. We just don't need so many. So we'll actually get rid of that one. We're gonna get rid of this destroyer, and yeah, we'll try that, and that'll give us way more honor. We're gonna save that as the first fleet. Sure, we'll save that as the first fleet again. We'll just copy over that, and let's try it again. See if we can double our honor. Because yeah, that bottom cruiser went down way faster than I expected, but it was perfect splitting their fleet. So he's gonna send this cruiser after this guy, and this guy's harder to hit than the cruiser, although he is launching those fighters. Those fighters could be a problem, but he's launching just the, looks like little interceptors. Hard to tell, but let's just see how much damage they do. Yeah, our vehicle probably, oh, we actually did hit one of them. Oh, cool. Oh, we actually are damaging their fighters, but yeah, definitely split their fleet, and that's what we need to do. We need to split their fleet, and here comes all the bombers on this side, and our fighters are ready for action. They're gonna start. Oh yeah, they are actually already attacking. Oh, they're using the tractor beam. That's fantastic. Oh, the tractor beam stops those fighters dead, and then they're toast. So yeah, we are already doing serious damage. So hull is down to 96%. Armor is gone.
Shield stability failure.
Oh, that's awesome. We just lost shield stability. That's warped somebody.
Shield
I don't know.
stability failure.
Oh, this he's losing shield. Oh, look at all those fighters. Wow,
Shield stability
crazy.
failure.
Okay, so this ship is going to go down pretty quick. It's just about done. There it goes. Yeah, that
Enemy
cruiser's
cruiser
actually
has been destroyed.
our cruiser actually has a lot of long-range firepower, and it just helps them. It's these fighters that are a problem, and we knew that was going to be the issue. It's the fighters are just beating the crap out of our ships, but it doesn't matter if we lose ships. It makes no difference whatsoever. We're going to get the same amount of hull back. The point is we win the battle. It's either win or lose. So we could actually even probably remove the cruiser entirely and just add a couple more of these
Shield stability failure.
these frigates and probably win the fight no problem. So all that's left now is fighters, and that won't be
Victory
a problem.
is ours.
There we go.
Enemy fleet.
So we earned another extra 2,000 honor. Look at this. We have 12,000 honor, which means we can buy some awesome stuff. But I think I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to call that an episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to the next one. I'm sorry these are, they're going to have to be a week apart because I've got so much other stuff booked. But, this is still a beta product, so maybe there might even be a newer version coming up here. So I hope so. In any case,
Galactic
we can actually now move on to the
activated.
third fight. And let's just take a quick look before we go. So this one, wow, look at this. This is going to be an awesome fight. So we're going to probably work on maybe a larger cruiser class. But yeah, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.